to say how I feel. Ooh la la, ooh la la. It's kinda easy now.
I can see it clearly now. Nothing gonna bring me down. I got my head held high. I'm on my way, and I'm following the signs to my happy place. I'm walking in the light of a brand new day, and I'm right where I belong in my happy place. Follow me to my happy place.
Hey, hi everybody. Sounds like, oops, and making sure my microphones are, I'm putting together a checklist because it's been a week of tech things that's telling me I needed my checklist. Yeah. So thanks for being here. Hi Helen, I'm sorry that I goofed you up last night. Man, the night before I hit go live without being in the right show. And then last night I thought I'd done the same thing, and so I stopped and went, and then last night I ended it so because I hit the wrong buttons. It's been a tech week, kind of fun, craziness. But thank you for catching up and being here. Yeah, isn't this gorgeous weather we're having up here? Oh my gosh, it's like in the 80s down here. But where my daughter is and son-in-law in Phoenix, in Mesa, it's 116. Oh, yeah, a little much for me. Hi, Gail. Nice to have you here. Yay. Good. You're too hot. We had to close the shades down because we have western exposure, and in the afternoon we have to start closing shades down, and but got a chance to go out last night and went to the Heron Island ferry dock and photographed sunset and got although the sky cleared up, it had been beautiful, kind of nice clouds, and then it was going to open up, and then we had nice clear skies. Not the photographer's favorite thing for sunset, but the osprey were in the nest, so I got some kind of fun sunset silhouettes with ospreys in it, but we'll see how they turned out. There's a couple of them, but I'm going to have to head back there in the morning, early morning sometime, to try to catch the osprey at a little different light. It's kind of fun. Yay! So I bet I know my friend that lives up on Whidbey said that it was kind of roasty up there too. But at least we have some of this onshore breeze up it. Yes, we do. And then today has been my busy art day. Today is always Monday. It's a busy day. So I have my Tart group, which is my True Art Resonates Through Sisterhood. And then I had a chiropractor appointment to deal with my vertigo, which, fix it, yay. And then I went to the library, and over there's a whole stack of new books. And then I zipped home, finished up the intro, and got it posted so that you would have something to click on. And then I had to run off to another meeting for the art walk that we have coming up. And boy, I didn't do all my tasks I was supposed to. So tomorrow is going to be my day that I have to get all those things done. I have a feeling. But that's okay. It's gorgeous, it's wonderful, and it's well worth doing. Yeah, and I'm glad to be here. Today is my day off, so I slept now, paint tonight. Oh, yay, Helen, are you going to do a live, Helen? or a premiere or anything like that, to put it in the chat if you are. I want to know. So today is one of my big sister's 70th birthday. Wah! And she is a quilter and does amazing things. So in honor of her birthday, that's how I came up with Patches and Quilts. And I had originally planned to do 2 stories, but I think I'm just going to do one of them because they're very different, and they're very different in their mood and tone. And this particular one that I'm going to do tonight is just really kind of a special book. Happy birthday, Sister Krabby. Yeah. It is by Marian Wright Edelman. And Marian Wright Edelman is the founder and president emerita of the Children's Defense Fund. Yeah. This is a woman who is 83 years old now, but got her degree, her law degree, from Yale in 1963. Not an easy accomplishment for a Black woman in the 60s, early 60s. And she's something else. So, it's Tamara here. Yay! Hi, Tamara. How are you? Glad to have you here. So, anyway, my sister Sarah is a force to be reckoned with half the time. And I mean, she's just on the go and always having things and pushing through, and with the quilting that she's doing and everything. And I just thought that it was a good book to have in honor of her 70th birthday. This book written by Marian Wright Edelman and illustrated by Adrian Yorinks. And we read a book the other day by Arthur Yorinks, this Adrian's husband. But Adrian Yorinks herself is, let me show you a little bit about her. And then I'll tell you more about the author. Oh my goodness. There we go. Come on. She was born in 1956 in Staten Island. She went to the University of Wisconsin. She studied dance therapy and choreography. And then she went on to become a writer, an illustrator, and a textile designer. She worked as a dog groomer for 15 years, an instructor in psychodrama and creative arts therapy, designer of fabrics for Timeless Treasures and Lyndhurst Studios. As a dog breeder, she raised border collies and poodles. She's done commemorative quilts exhibited at New England Quilt Museum, in Yokohama, Japan, at the Robertson Museum in Birmingham, New York, at the Museum of American Quilters Society in Paddock, Kentucky, at Northern Arizona University Art Museum, and the Museum of Natural History in Santa Barbara, California, and in Cambridge, Massachusetts Artists Cooperative Gallery, Exhibition Gallery in Washington, D.C. Gosh, the Alex Haley Farm in Clinton, Tennessee, and the Harold Washington Library Center. And it's included in permanent collections at Baruch College and in San Francisco. Oh my gosh, and the AFL-CIO. My goodness. She's had the Georgia Council on the Arts Merit Award, Best Statement Quilt of the Century finalist, International Quilt Festival 1999. I mean, just amazing things. So she did the illustrations for this book, which is a quilt, and the illustrations are based on quilts and something. And I'll tell you a little bit about Marian Edelman. Here she is. She started, founder and president emerita of the Children's Defense Fund, and has been an advocate for disadvantaged Americans for her entire professional life. Under her leadership, CDF has become the nation's strongest voice for children and families. The Children's Defense Fund Leave No Child Behind mission to ensure every child a healthy start, a head start, a fair start, a safe start, and a moral start in life, and successful passage to adulthood with the help of caring families and communities. She's a graduate of Spielman College and Yale Law School. She began her career in the mid-60s when, as the first Black woman admitted to the Mississippi bar, wow, she directed the NAACP Legal Defense and Educational Fund in Jackson, Mississippi, in the 60s, in Jackson, Mississippi. In 1968, she moved to Washington, D.C., as counsel for the Poor People's Campaign that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. began organizing before his death. She founded the Washington Research Project, a public interest law firm, and the parent body of the Children's Defense Fund. For 2 years, she served as the director of the Center for the Law and Education at Harvard University, and in 1973 began CDF. CDF is still a huge organization, and she has received over 100 honorary degrees and many awards, including the Albert Schweitzer Humanitarian Prize, the Heinz Award, and the MacArthur Foundation Prize Fellowship. In 2000, she received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian award, and the Robert F. Kennedy Lifetime Achievement Award for her writings, which include Families in Peril, The Measure of Our Success, Guide My Feet, and Stand for Children, which is what I'm going to read tonight. Whole Lanterns, A Memoir of Mentors, Hold My Hand, and just several others. She's absolutely amazing. She's a board member of the Robin Hood Foundation and the Association to Benefit Children, and is a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, the American Philosophical Society, the American Academy of Arts and Sciences, and the Institute of Medicine of the National Academy of Sciences. Whoa! She has 3 sons, and she's been married since, I can't remember what year she got married to Peter Edelman, and he's a professor of law at Georgetown Law School. 3 sons, 2 granddaughters, and 2 grandsons. Pretty amazing woman. Look at that. So the book I'm going to read tonight is called Stand for Children. I was going to see if there's anything else. On June 1st, 1996, Marian Wright Edelman, the president and founder of the Children's Defense Fund, held a rally at the Lincoln Memorial to encourage people everywhere to stand for children. The anniversary of that day is now celebrated every year as a day for Americans to reconfirm their commitment to children. A version of Mrs. Edelman's speech with its message of hope, faith, and inclusion is presented in this powerful book. With Stand for Children, young readers can explore the nation's commitment to their future and their ability to affect each other's lives. Multi-layered quilts of fabrics and photographs illustrate these inspiring words and reflect the joy, energy, and rich diversity of our nation's children. So, you can see why I chose this book. I decided to have it stand. It'll stand all on its own. Yeah, absolutely amazing woman. She's still going strong at 83. You think about the things that they do, and it just is amazing. So this is Stand for Children, and the rally that was held at I remember this back is at the Lincoln Memorial. A lot of people brought quilts like this, and yeah, it was something. It says on June 1st, 1996, more than 300,000. Get that? 300,000 people came to the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. to stand for children in the largest and most uplifting demonstration of commitment to children in our history. We came together as an American community to stand for what we believe in: healthy, safe, educated, and moral children. We committed ourselves to do more for children as caring parents and grandparents and as community, private sector, and public leaders. We stood together to say that our children must be top priority as a nation and that no child should be left behind. The Stand for Children did not end on that day, but marked the beginning of a new national movement to put our children first in everything we do. Today, Stand for Children Day is to the children's movement as Earth Day is to the environmental movement. A day to refocus and recommit to action. You can stand for children no matter what your age. I hope you will stand for children not only in the beginning of June each year, but even more important, each day and in every way. Marian Wright Edelman. Her birthday is actually June 6th, and the day that they have this Stand for Children Day is June 1st. And I meant to read this then, but for some reason I didn't. So, Marian Wright Edelman, Quilts by Adrienne Yorinks. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe these aren't. Oh, that's right. It was photographs that were added that she incorporated into the quilts for the book. We stood at the Lincoln Memorial as American families and as an American community to commit ourselves to putting you, our children, first, to building a just America that leaves no child behind, and to ensuring all of you a healthy and safe passage to adulthood. We stood together as an American people, red, white, brown, black, and yellow, young and old, rich, middle class, and poor, female and male, physically and mentally challenged, Jew and Gentile, Christian and Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, and Baha'i, believers and non-believers, each an inextricable part of the amazing sacred mosaic of God's universe and of America's democracy. We came with many concerns and by many means for you, our children. Some of us walked, and some came by wheelchair. Some came by rail and air and bus. Some came alone and some in groups. There we go. Some came with family and some had no family. Some of us had one or more homes to protect our children from the cold, heat, and storms of life. Some of us had no home or place to call our own. No one was excluded. Let me move myself here. I'm going to move myself over to here. Yeah, out of the way of the book then. Everyone agreed on one crucial thing: that no one in America should harm children, and that everyone can do more to ensure that you grow up safe, healthy, and educated in nurturing families and in caring communities. You are entitled to your childhood, safety, and hope. In this nation, the poorest baby born in the Mississippi Delta, Montana Plains, Texas barrios, Arizona reservations, and inner city ghettos has the same God-given and America-promised birthright of fair opportunity, respect, and protection as the middle-class child born in the suburbs of Shaker Heights and as the most privileged child born on Park Avenue. These quilts. Each and every American child adds or subtracts, multiplies or divides America's problems and potential, and fulfills America's nightmares or dreams. President Lincoln warned that a house divided against itself cannot stand. That's why we remember his words and are acting to renovate our divided and battered national house to make sure it has room and justice enough for all. When Jesus Christ invited little children to come unto him, he did not invite only rich or middle class, male, white children without mental or physical challenges from two-parent families to come. He invited all children to come, as do all the great faiths, to renew America's and God's sacred covenant with every child. It is always the right time to do right for children who are being born and formed in mind, body, and spirit every minute as life goes on. Young people, families, child advocates, citizens, keep standing together for children every day until all America stands with us. Take at least one step for just one child, and you will make a difference. Be confident that you do not stand alone. We all stand together. We will do our very best for you, and in doing so, leave our seeds to service to God. He will make them towering oak trees of hope in whose shade you can play and laugh and live and grow again all over America. Whoever you are, wherever you are, anywhere in America, stand up and commit to leave no child behind. If you cannot stand, raise your hands. If you cannot raise your hands, then lift your eyes or open your ears and hearts. If you do, you, our children, and this great nation will do God proud when he comes. Trust in God's love. God lifted up Abraham Lincoln, a poor rural Kentucky boy, to the presidency of the United States to save our union from slavery and sectionalism. God used a courageous slave woman named Harriet Tubman to lead slaves to freedom on the Underground Railroad, just as God can use you to heal our communities. Let us end with a prayer. For those of you who are not religious, I'm not really. I apologize if this offends, but this was such a powerful book. I wanted to share. Oh God, forgive our rich nation, where small babies die of cold, quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation where small children suffer from hunger quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation where toddlers and school children die from guns sold quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation that lets children be the poorest group of citizens quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation that lets the rich continue to get more at the expense of the poor quite legally. Oh God, forgive our rich nation that thinks security rests in missiles rather than in mothers, and in bombs rather than in babies. Oh God, forgive our rich nation for not giving you sufficient thanks by giving to others their daily bread. Oh God, help us never to confuse what is quite legal with what is just and right in your sight. Stand for children. It says, I can stand for children. Here are some ordinary things you can do to stand for children. Hold a yard sale and donate the proceeds to an after-school program. I love this about this book because what she did after all of this, it was people, oftentimes will hear things and they go, oh, yes. But practical information of what to do is sometimes lacking. Not this woman. Start a bus token drive at your school for students who cannot afford transportation costs to school. Organize a winter coat and shoe drive for children in need. Or go through your toy box and donate some toys to another child or to a shelter. Collect used children's books from your neighbors and donate them to a children's program or a child health clinic. Ask your church, synagogue, temple, or mosque to open the building at night for children in the community who need tutoring. Just a sec. Sorry, I didn't want you to hear that. Create a neighborhood garden or a container garden on your block. Write your state legislators and governor, your representatives in Congress, and the president to tell them to put children's needs first. It's interesting that part of this book, part of her establishing the Children's Defense Fund and starting all this, was in response to the United Nations there was so the United Nations had a convention on the rights of the child, and they came up with a set of the rights of the child. And most countries in the United Nations signed on to this and agreed to this and agreed to these rights. The United States was one of the countries that did not. It was actually I believe the only big time country that did not sign on to this, sign this agreement when the United Nations came up with this policy in the aftermath of World War II. And it was in the Declaration of the Rights of the Child in 1959. And my understanding is that the United States did not participate in it. They came up with their own, and they didn't sign in to the one that the United Nations had. Part of what Marian Wright Edelman granted 1960, so that's like shortly before she got her law degree in 63. In 59, when the UN came up, she was probably in college and getting ready to go to law school at Yale, and was well aware of this. Her fight all the way through for children and then to establish this is, a response, and to make sure that the U.S. has something in there. I don't know all the complete history of it. I don't know the exact things, but I do know that it seems, for me, it seems odd that we did not join in as a country, and one of the few powerful nations that did not. But in not doing so, if it brought about a woman like this to do the things she's done and have this Children's Defense Fund, things all come about and work. Let's see. Children are a very precious gift. Come to me, all you children. Here they are from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Oh, Kenyon, that is one of my very favorite proverbs. I love that. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Kenyan proverb. That's amazing. In Hawaii, you are born with kuleana, This is the inherited taking care of or responsibility of the land, sea, and everything community. Yeah. When Lincoln said, "A house divided cannot stand," is even more appropriate for the chaos we've witnessed in this country in years. Yes, it is. It really is. And, you know, I can just imagine things that Edelman was going through, how the children's defense, when children were taken from their parents at the border, and oh my gosh. I was born into a Roman Catholic family and denounced from it when I was 17 years. I've been practicing Buddhism ever since. Yay. It is a wonderful and thought-provoking book. When I took sociology of religion, I had to separate the institution from faith. Yeah, it is the institution and the interpretations. For me, I was raised with a fairly strong Christian background, and quite strong, and it has expanded a great deal. It's not that I don't believe in God, I just don't believe in the limits that religion puts on our concept of a higher being, and the segregation that religion puts, different religious sects put into that notion of, you know, no, they're this or they're that. I think a higher being is probably smarter than all that. And yeah, so that's my interpretation. Yay! Hi, Lupe. Nice to have you here. Thank you. Anyway, you guys, yeah, it's such a powerful book that I decided I was just going to read this one. The art in it, I'm going to go, the work that she did, taking pictures and the fabric and making them into quilts with different people from all over. I like this. And this one, look at that. I love this. And these like baby blocks and make them into quilts. It's just this kind of art. It's amazing. Adrian Yorinks. This is the hands all around here. I don't know if you can see that. Let me pull that up. I'll pull the screen down, this down, so you can see more closely. On this quilt, it's the hands all around the picture that go together. And the world and the different people and the connection between Lincoln and Harriet Tubman, and how the hands are holding up and holding the world tight. And there's from the march, from the original march. See how beautiful that is. And then these little stars. I love these. They're just incredible. All right, you guys. There it is. That was Stand for Children. A pretty amazing book. This is a book that's in my personal collection I've had it for some time. I think one of my sisters gave it to me for birthday, or Bob did for birthday sometime or another. I can't quite remember when he might have done that. But that's going back up, out of the way. Yay. Okay. So, doctrines ruin religion. Also, to choose Zen all the time. Yay. That is, good for you, babe. It's hard to do. Those quilts are amazing. Oh, you're welcome, Gail. I'm glad. It is. I remember when the book came out, and I had it in the library, and of course, because it had prayers in it and talk this and they sort of like, people. I'm like, I'm putting it in the 200s. And they go, what? But it's a, because it's non-fig, basically it's a thing. And so I put it in the 200 section, which has religion, mythology. It's funny, in the library system, religion and mythology are all in the same and that type of things. And then they jump right into folk tales and fairy tales in the 300s. It's kind of funny. But so you can actually have a philosophy, religion, mythology, and all that kind of stuff can be in the same section in the library. So that's how I got around that. I just put it in as a book that was in that philosophy section, kind of, and a history book. So yeah, you work your magic. You got to do it. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to slide out of here for tonight. See if I can do it right this time and not cut it off like I did last night. I meant to hit the button that said next scene that took me into the closing scene, but I hit the button that said finish, and so it was like, boom. Like I said, it's been tech trial week for me. And I think it was just my inner self saying I needed to grab the camera and go out and do something else. So last night it was really fun to go out and do that. And I did a little bit of a short, I think, from the beach. And I've videoed some, and I've got some pictures. I'll see what I do on putting those together. I might just show them to you. There was an osprey nest, and there's, I think, one chick and the mother and father were both in there, but it was pretty stunning to watch them. And then all the other birds are flying around because the ospreys don't bug the other birds, and so the other there were swifts and swallows flying around getting the bugs and stuff, but it was pretty neat. All right, you guys. Oh, I will wish Sarah a happy birthday from her other family. Yeah. Hopefully she is having a fine dinner with, I hope her son was going to be able to make it over, Matt, my nephew Matt, and for her birthday to this time. I'm glad you guys liked this book. Tomorrow night I'll do the other quilt book, the Patches one. And it is, it's a pretty cool book too, by a local author named Mary Kay Whittington. And it's a really gentle, beautiful kind of story. So any of you who have collections of fabric around and quilts or anything, you'll kind of get that, what you get from pieces of fabric and different kind of things. So anyway, I will be back tomorrow night with that. But until then, you know what to do. Keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around. And it's in your mirror. All right. See you later.
In the heat of the night, we could get lost in all the lights and
for being here, Helen. Thanks, Lupe. It's good to have you here. And Tamara, it's always wonderful. And you too, Gail. And Larry and Angel, I hope you guys are having a great dinner with the fam. That's awesome. Stay cool, Helen. Turn a fan on. You know, these hot days don't last too long up here in the Northwest. Right. Helen, are you going to do a premiere, or are you going live, or are you going to record it? Okay.